this is actually one of my favorite stories. In 2001, in June, I had we had a what do you call it? When you go back to reunion.
Ah, there we go.
We had a high school reunion. And whenever I travel, I do something called gallery in a bag. And I put enough artwork in my knapsack to sell to pay for the trip.
Okay.
So I let people know in advance when I'm coming and I make appointments. So for this particular trip, a friend of mine in Brooklyn had a bookstore. So she said I could come and bring my stuff and set up in the bookstore, which I did. So, and I was leaving for LA to go back to LA that night. So I was just there really quickly that afternoon. So there's this woman who was sitting at another table and she kept looking over and I could see her. And I said, you can look, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so she saw these two pieces that she really wanted. And she goes, but I don't get paid till Friday. And I said, well, I'm going back to LA today. So here's my card, give me your card, take the pieces, send me the check. Bye. And I left.
Wow, that's a lot of trust. A lot of trust. Yeah.
Well, she seemed really cool.
Okay.
Well, few days later, doorbell rings, it's FedEx. It was one of the most beautiful cards of Frida Kahlo. The card was a painting of Frida Kahlo. And inside was the most beautiful, the check was in there for the pieces.
Oh, wow.
And the most beautiful note that I cried for about an hour. Wow. How grateful she was at the exchange, and the whole thing just made her really happy. Okay, so that's fast beautiful. Forward to September 2001. 10 days after 9/11, I get FedEx again, rings the doorbell. No, was it? Yeah, FedEx rang the doorbell. And it was another package from her, the same woman. And she said, because of our exchange in June, she wanted to commission me to do a piece for her firehouse that had lost 11 of their men.
Oh, wow.
And the neighborhood in Brooklyn had been giving them clothes and food and stuff like that, but she wanted to give them something significant. And so she commissioned me to do this piece, and I didn't charge her anything for it. I just had her pay for the shipping. And she said, by the time that piece got there, because I had people come over and pray on it and put their, logo on it. She said, by the time it got there to her in Brooklyn, she said she could hardly keep the box closed. It was so full of energy. And when I finally met the firemen, it turns out that at my reunion, one of the women there was one of the widows of the guy, one of the firemen in Squad 1.
Oh my God.
And we didn't even know. So she came and joined us for lunch because they made me lunch when I was there.
Wow, that is a beautiful story. I love that.
They made me linguine and clam sauce and told me dirty jokes for 2 hours. And then at the end, the guy who was like showing me around took me up to their bunk room where they put the piece. The piece was a big piece, and the quote was, "Greater love hath no man than this, and the man should lay down his life for his friends." Yeah. And it's, it was in I won't describe the piece, but he looked at me and goes, now that I got you here, can I ask you what does this piece mean? Little Irish dude, he's like, what is it? And I told him, he was like, oh, it was right above his bed.
Oh, wow. So when you told him, did it resonate with him? Could he see what you were saying?
Yes.
Oh, it must have been a wonderful moment.
He almost started to cry.
Oh, wow. That must have been a wonderful moment for both of you. Well, I love that though. The trust you placed in her and the appreciation that she had and the love that you guys exchanged. That's a beautiful thing.